Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my Eastern semi-final preview. The Montreal Alouettes play the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So, this one I feel like is a tough one, and I don't think either of these are easy ones. To be completely honest, Montreal going into this game coming up tomorrow is 7-7, 7 wins, 7 losses, giving them 14 points, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats are 8-6, giving them 16 points, 8 wins, 6 losses. So we have a QB matchup of Trevor Harris versus Mazzoli, a pretty even strength matchup. I think Harris recently has had better performances than Mazzoli. However, we saw Mazzoli turn it up in playoffs last year. So, who do I think has the advantage? I don't know. This is tricky. Other notable players for the Alouettes, though, William Stanback at running back, David Menard at D-end. Please, by the way, I will be mispronouncing some of these names. My apologies. And then Munshatter Hunter at cornerback, and Jake Winnick, I believe his name is. I might be saying that wrong. If so, sorry. Who is receiver. And the 4 of those were all named on the All-Star list this year for their team. So congratulations to those players. And then in the Hamilton side of things, they have the usual receivers you always hear about, Brandon Banks and Jalen Acklin. Whether they're playing or not, you hear about them. Especially Brandon Banks, who likes to be very vocal on social media, kind of in a Jonathan Marchessault way. If you know what that means, he's not very good. He doesn't take online criticism well. He'll kind of shit talk fans sometimes, which I think is a little bit of an immaturity thing, but it is what it is. But he's a great player, though, so you know what? I shouldn't be talking. But then other notable players, though, for the Ticats, Simone Lawrence at linebacker, who actually got most outstanding defensive player this year for the East, because he did not get the overall most outstanding player. And then Dylan Wynn, 3-time CFL All-Star at D tackle. And then Tunde Alik, I believe is how you pronounce the name. I probably screwed that one up, but their safety, who has had a pretty good season. So this is very interesting because I could be wrong, but I believe it was Hamilton that kind of went on a rough foot. And Montreal did quite the opposite. Montreal had a great first game going into and it kind of just slowly went down. And then obviously they had the injury with Vernon Adams Jr., which definitely affected the roster and which made the Alouettes trade for Trevor Harris to keep those playoff dreams alive. So, I don't know who has the advantage in this game. I don't know. I think, it's really tricky. I think if there's any advantage that you give, because I think the momentum of these two teams is pretty darn similar. I don't think in the last few weeks the performance among these teams have been I think they're pretty evenly matched in that sense. However, I think the Tiger Cats will win this one because I think they just have a bit of a deeper roster than Montreal does. Montreal definitely has some good pieces, but I think overall the Hamilton Tiger Cats are more complete than the Alouettes are. So my prediction is going to be with the Tiger Cats. However, I would not be entirely surprised if the Alouettes pull this out. They were only 2 points behind the Tiger Cats. So yeah, so this is, I'd love to know your comments in the comment section down below. There's not a whole lot I have to say about this. To be completely honest, I've paid more attention a little bit to the West than I have with the East. Just because, I'm a Bomber fan. We play West teams more than we play East teams normally. But, yeah, this is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a fun game to watch. That's one thing I'm really excited about with both semifinal games. They'll be very interesting games to watch because I don't think there's really a clear-cut winner in either of them. I think this actually is the closer of the two, to be completely honest. I know there's some people who think the other one is pretty close, and it is pretty decently close. But I don't think it's as close as this one, as I think I have a pretty good idea who's winning the other one. As opposed to this one, I'm kind of on the fence with. But I think one thing that's going to be crucial is what Jeremiah Masoli are we going to see in this game? Because these last few weeks, Masoli is not really being in it. And like I said, last season, he did turn it up in playoffs. So it's definitely not, like, there's nothing confirmed going into this. He could absolutely turn it up. There's no reason he can't. So I cannot wait to see how this game goes. I will be reviewing both games, just to let you know. So make sure you stay in touch for that. And I think that's all I'm going to be saying on this one. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned because we have our interview with Bomber alumni, legendary Chris Walby, coming up on December 3rd, I believe that's going to be dropping. So stay tuned for that. Also, check out the Instagram because there's actually a post about that. And if you have any questions for Mr. Walby, go down there, go on that post. It should be my most recent as of when this is being posted. And fire away some questions. If I think it's a great question, I'll ask it in the interview. And just so that way as much as I'm very fortunate to be involved in this, I want you guys to be involved as well. So make sure you guys do that. And make sure you like this video if you haven't. So without further ado, I think that'll be all.